After a series of scandals, mental health problems, and a recent incarceration, Chrisean Rock's rise from a challenging life to the dizzying heights of stardom seemed to be a welcome reprieve from her past. However, her admiration has since waned, leaving admirers disappointed. The narrative of Chrisean Rock's ascent and decline on Blue Girls Club is both heartbreaking and captivating, and I'll walk you through it in this video. The narrative begins in 2020, when Chrisean first became aware of Blueface's exclusive reality dating program, which made its debut in the midst of global. Blueface considered the show a novel concept during lockdowns, asking a group of women to compete for a month at his house, with his devotion as the final prize. Chrisean stood out right away because of her brave demeanor. She didn't see this as a game and would do whatever it took to gain Blueface's affection. As the weeks passed, spectators began to support for Chrisean to win the crown as Blueface, became enthralled with her fiery spirit. But when Blueface's baby mama, Jaden Alexis, joined the cast, the turmoil on the program escalated, and Chrisean, which resulted in a notorious fight when Chrisean lost her front tooth. The incident went viral on social media and made her a household name. How did this notorious incident come to pass? Chrisean's growing closeness to Blueface infuriated Alexis. Chrisean, who was only wearing socks, lost her upper teeth after slipping on the floor during a furious quarrel and running into a little statue. Instead of hiding her embarrassment, Chrisean adopted the moniker Big and laughed about the experience. Before getting into their tumultuous drama, it's critical to comprehend Chrisean's difficult childhood. She was one of 7 children born in Baltimore, Maryland, to a drug-addicted mother and a violent father who was often behind bars but never missed an occasion to mistreat his family. Chrisean decided to postpone owning her unique appearance for the time being, even if baby Blueface offered to cover the cost of a permanent replacement. Their tumultuous relationship, which is regarded as one of the most toxic in recent memory, was cemented by her attractiveness and growing public reputation. Chrisean life took a surprising turn while she was a student at Santa Monica College after she won a $10,000 prize in the Fox TV show Ultimate Tag. Although this triumph suggested a bright future, she was signed to Blueface's label in 2021 after making an appearance on Blue Girls Club, and she promptly released her first single, Lonely. Homelessness and physical abuse starting when she was 9 years old defined Chrisean early hardships, but she found comfort in sports, particularly track and field, and went on to become a Division I athlete. When Blueface announced on social media in February 2022 that Chrisean had broken into his home, cut herself and scrawled "I love Blue" in her own blood on the wall, it was the first overt sign of trouble. During one of their numerous breakups, they committed this startling act of desperation. The song Vibe, which featured Blueface and received over 5 million Spotify listens in 2022, marked her ascent to prominence as an emerging musician. Blueface also accused her of stealing his Mercedes G-Wagon and using it to peddle crack cocaine. By May 2022, the pair had reconciled despite these problems, only to be thrust back into hostilities. Blueface's mother, Carrara Seifel, and sister Kay Miller got into a violent argument with Chrisean in public on Memorial Day of that year. There was a lot of controversy after Carissa shared pictures of her damaged face online, denouncing Chrisean and Blueface for their actions and said she would never forgive them. It wasn't the end of the drama. Chrisean allegedly struck Blueface during a party in Arizona in August 2022, which resulted in her arrest following police involvement. A month earlier, a different violent outburst was captured on camera during Iwa's, a family get-together in which Chrisean father threw a punch, causing massive media hysteria. After saying that Blueface had abused her and their mother during the altercation, Chrisean was admitted to the hospital. Chrisean later used accusations of rudeness and violence against Blueface's family to defend her conduct. Chrisean Rock's story is a complicated web of violence, love, ambition, and grief that eloquently demonstrates how poisonous relationships, past trauma, and public attention can all clash with disastrous results. After Chrisean publicly humiliated his mother and sister, Blueface stayed by her side, but she also showed her support for her boyfriend in a series of since-deleted tweets. Chrisean disclosed in one post that her father and he had been destined to be together for a long time. Chrisean father suffered injuries as a result of the rapper's response following Chrisean's initial punch. She revealed a distressing childhood memory of how her father had once tied her up in the woods to beat her because she screamed too loudly, and she also detailed how her father had mistreated her mother cruelly. The extent to which this individual had harmed his own family was immense. When Chrisean Rock and Blueface made headlines again in September 2022, it was for all the wrong reasons. A late-night fight on the streets of Los Angeles quickly escalated into a brawl, and Blueface's fist sliced Chrisean's lips. On Twitter, a photo of the altercation went viral very fast. Despite significant outrage, Chrisean shockingly withdrew her allegations of domestic abuse in an Instagram live stream a few days later. "I had a bad trip yesterday trying to jump out of a car on the highway," she admitted, acknowledging that Blue was trying to stop her from jumping and that she just blacked out. She also admitted that she had a mental breakdown, had consumed too much alcohol, and had even tried to jump out of a moving car on the highway. In a year full of turmoil, that was just one incident, and 2023 only made matters worse. Chrisean caused even more uproar when she said she was expecting Blueface's child on the No For podcast. During their relationship, she openly admitted to having several abortions. "I killed like 3 of them," she said, before declaring, "I'm keeping the baby this time." In response to the question of whether she was married to Blueface, she candidly stated, "I'm not married." This demonstrated how intricate their bond was. Because it has no effect, many women smoke marijuana until the last trimester. "I'm only using the messenger, so don't shoot it." After a footage from the reality show Crazy in Love showed Chrisean smoking marijuana while clearly pregnant, Blueface joined the social media conversation to defend the practice. There was such a strong public outcry that some people even called Child Protective Services. Viewers were divided by his remarks, but Chrisean seems unconcerned. Blueface's demand for a DNA test to verify paternity, which provoked ridicule, was the high point of the drama. Only a few months later, in December 2023, Blueface startled fans by declaring that he was not Chrisean Jr.'s father on Platform X, based on the results of a DNA test. In a series of articles, he revealed how he had taken the test covertly and expressed relief at the revelation, even though he had referred to the youngster as his son and stepped in to protect the baby in some situations, like one at After Chrisean Legal. Troubles deteriorated in August 2023. Blueface finally found closure after she and an online user named Vicky got into a physical brawl after Vicky liked a TikTok post about Chrisean. Vicky apologized, but Chrisean attacked her and caused obvious injuries. The internet was rife with opposing viewpoints after this resulted in a lawsuit and Chrisean's imprisonment. Blueface responded to the incident with a now-deleted tweet. For a brief moment, and in November 2023, Chrisean was drunk and odorous. Chrisean allegedly hit Tamar's backup vocalist James Davis in the face, causing a chipped tooth that required medical care as well as a bleeding injury. Chrisean refused to issue an apology, instead using Instagram Live to refute what she described as a false narrative and assert that the tale was being fabricated against her. She vehemently said, "I've been through this before, and I know how it goes a certain way with a false narrative," in an attempt to dispute the charges. She dismissed it as clout chasing and stated, "Honestly, I need to start defending my name." She claimed it had nothing important to do with. The reality, however, quickly became apparent when videos appeared of Chrisean Rock performing Love and War with Tamar Braxton and Chrisean twerking while posing. A complex web of devotion, aggression, fragility, and unending drama that continues. To enthrall and split their audience is revealed by the accusations that swirl about her through the highs and lows of Chrisean Rock and Blueface's public tale. All of that changed on April 27, 2024, when Chrisean was formally placed in the correctional system of Oklahoma as a fugitive. The backstory begins in 2023, when she was accused of stealing Blueface's vehicle and using it to transport and distribute crack cocaine, leading to the issuance of a warrant. Her charges and mugshot went viral on the internet and in the media. The close-up of Tamar's face in the pictures with Toni Braxton, which amply conveyed her displeasure, only served to undermine Chrisean protestations. In June 2024, Chrisean arrived with their child at Blueface's court appearance in the San Fernando Valley, California, where police were awaiting her arrest on the felony warrant that was still pending from Oklahoma. Chrisean was aware of the warrant, but she refused to turn herself in, mostly because she is worried about her little boy, whom she shares with Blueface, and fears that his future would be gravely threatened if they were both imprisoned. Her concerns appeared to be well-founded, marked the beginning of the process for her extradition to Oklahoma, where she was anticipated to be charged with major crimes and may be sentenced to 8 years in prison. Earlier that year, Chrisean legal troubles took a significant turn in California when she was charged with assault, a charge that hovered over her while she awaited sentencing. Despite the fact that no firearm was used in the case and the type of weapon was not stated, the charge was serious enough to result in a conviction for misdemeanor assault involving a deadly weapon. On June 18, 2024, the court condemned her to 30 days in prison due to the seriousness of the charge, which still had legal repercussions. She had to serve this sentence in California before being moved to Oklahoma to face the more serious allegations that awaited her. Thus, this was the beginning of a complicated legal process that would ultimately result in her extradition. Her incarceration in California was both a punishment and a procedural obligation because the state's court system obliged her to settle this lawsuit first. The extradition process started on a Wednesday after she completed her term in California, and the Craig County Sheriff's Office in Oklahoma officially acknowledged her arrival shortly after. In order to face the accusations related to the crime, she was transferred from a correctional facility in California to one in Oklahoma. Chrisean received a lot of media attention due to her personal issues and her public persona as rapper Blueface's spouse. Fans and followers kept a close eye on her status updates. Many expected Chrisean's legal journey to be long and unclear, but her arrival in Oklahoma signaled the beginning of a new chapter. On September 6, 2024, however, it was shockingly announced that she had been released from the Oklahoma jail. Even more shockingly, all charges against her in Oklahoma had been dismissed. Her family and allies were relieved that her case had been abruptly dismissed. The confirmation of Chrisean's transfer was extensively publicized, underscoring the gravity of the charges against her in Oklahoma, where she was charged with drug dealing and auto theft. Chrisean used Instagram to share her thankfulness and thoughts after being released from a stressful period of legal limbo. Her post highlighted how crucial it was for her to be reunited with her young kid and conveyed a profound sense of relief and gratitude for being free. She also talked about how important this moment was to her, particularly in light of the high stakes she had been dealing with in the previous months. After such a difficult period, she said it was a great blessing to be able to spend time with her child. Chrisean's latest publication represents a turning point full of fresh opportunities, rekindled optimism, and a dedication to a brighter future. Her experience serves as a reminder of the difficulties that many people encounter while dealing with the legal system, particularly when it is in the public eye. She was open about how the court battles had affected her emotionally and how she now hoped for a new beginning. She was able to concentrate on starting over and committing to parenting without worrying about going to jail, thanks to the charges being dropped and her release. To be with you today, set free just days before your birthday, is a blessing, she wrote, reflecting on the tense evening of August 7th when she faced the possibility of losing 8 years of her son's life if found guilty. Her writing was centered around her family. She expressed her gratitude to Jesus for saving her and vowed to start over, prioritizing her son and striving for a better future. For now, despite the difficulties, Chrisean has been given another chance to be the mother her child deserves. Only time will tell how her story turns out.